Alrighty gang, we're gonna pick up on our Audi A4 project where we left off. Let's just get right into it. Well, it's been a few days and we've got our new to us head over here. I'll show you that in a bit, but real quick, found a place on the good old Evil Bays, does reman heads, and for a fraction of the cost of a new one, or a fraction of the cost of even a used complete engine of unknown quality and far more miles, we've got something that's been cleaned, gone through new valve seals, everything checked out, and does not have ground up bearing journals. So that's a bonus. But as long as we are waiting for a few more things on this head, we did purchase the parts to go ahead and replace the water pump and the pulleys and idlers. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Nothing wrong with the water pump right now, but again, as long as you're in there, let's just do that. Okay, down here we've got one idler again. Nothing wrong with it, but since you're in here, why not take care of that and get it done with so it's not a problem in the future if I can get it knocked loose. Let's get a bigger wrench, bigger socket. 12 mil. See if I can knock it loose. Yeah, there we go. I just don't feel like having the socket slip and grind my fingers off on this exhaust. That sounds like a bad day. All right, there we go. Here's our old one. Again, nothing really wrong with it. No grindy sounds. It feels pretty firm, but as long as we're in here. Here's our new one. Same size. We're good to go. And just for fun, I'm going to toss a little bit of blue thread lock right on here. All right, we'll go and get you back in. All right, we're good. Spins freely, life is good. Now if you look at our water pump, we've got 1, 2, 3, 10 mil, go figure. And this should come out. There's one more somewhere, there it is. There we go. All right, here's our original one. You can see it's not bad. All right, again, all of these parts came from FCP Euro. This here is a metal impeller. It's a Hepu, Hepper, whatever, Wasserpumpen, Germany. Sure, water pump. What you want to do is go ahead and throw just a little bit of lube on this O-ring when you put it back in. So I've got some oil over here. Let me just take a wrap in it quick. All right, you don't need much. It's pretty much just to prevent the seal from tearing or getting caught on the block when you put it back in. Everything in here looks good. Go ahead and set it in its home. Hopefully we got our alignment correct. Twist it just a hair. Get it lined up. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. This is one of those things you don't want to force or cross thread, or else you're going to have a really bad day. Go ahead and tighten this down to proper TIM spec. Click, click, click. All right, that is done. I'm going to wait for the mail to show up today with the last couple of things for the rest of this. And then we'll get to hopefully getting that head reassembled. I've already gotten the intake and miscellaneous hardware off of the old head, so we can go ahead, transfer that to the new head. I've got to clean the intake baffles, get those done. I ran the spark plugs through the ultrasonic cleaner. I hesitate buying $50 in new spark plugs until I know this thing is going to work. Didn't see any damage to the plugs. I didn't see they were replaced. But if everything goes well, got 107,000 miles. It's one of those things you just do as long as you're in there. So let me pause you for now, and we'll come back when the other parts arrive. All right, everybody, it is time for a super clean giveaway. We've got 3 items coming at you. 1, a super clean hat. The style may vary a little bit. A can of their aerosol cleaner, and a regular traditional bottle of their spray cleaner. You've probably seen us using a variety of their products on our channel the last couple of years, whether it's these, their foaming spray, the tire and wheel cleaner, or their floor absorbent. It certainly helps keep our shop clean here and can help you too. What do you have to do? Well, simply like the video, comment below, give me some super clean, and most importantly, make sure you subscribe to the channel. At the end of the period here, March 31st, 2025, we'll go ahead and draw a name and send your information over to the Super Clean team to go ahead and send you out some of their great products. I want to thank Super Clean for supporting my channel and the rest of the automotive content creators. Back to the video. Okay, we are ready to start almost putting things back together. I got a water, a thermostat housing, was in the box of parts for the front end service, so I figure as long as I'm already in here, again, one of those things you should just replace. So that's done. I have the new head. It did come, like I said, it's remanned. It's been cleaned up, new valve seals. My only concern I had is I flipped it upside down and threw some Marvel Mystery Oil on top of the cylinders. I'll throw a picture in here where the valves are, just so that I could see if there is anything potentially leaking around the valves or anything like that. What I found was cylinder number 3, again, cylinder number 3, overnight, maybe longer than needed, but the oil I put in there wept out. The other 3 cylinders were very similar, a little bit of leak down, but not everything. So I planned ahead and got enough stuff to lap the valves. Again, learning thing for me. I haven't done it before, and we're going to learn that. So I know, where did I put it? Somewhere around here is the valve off of the old head. Let me find that. This would be our problem here. If it would focus. Come on, camera. Maybe you'll focus on my ugly mug. There we go. There is our valve. And that should be, of course, flat, straight up and down, not bent. So that is going to be the culprit from that slipped timing. So what I do have here is a valve spring compression tool. I do have some lapping compound and the little sticks to rub it in. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm still debating if I want to do all 4 cylinders or just number 3. Number 3 is the one that's concerning me. Not a big concern. I mean, nothing really drained out immediately. Again, it was over 7 or 8 hours. A little bit of that Marvel leaked out. But because it only happened on 1 cylinder and not all 4, I'm inclined to start with that one. And we'll see how that goes. I may do all 4 just for that extra peace of mind that because everything's already apart, you don't know the history of the engine, why it was in the shop to be remanned. Who knows? But I think doing that will give me a little peace of mind that it's been done, and hopefully that'll work. I mean, who knows? But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start I'm gonna make a little template from some cardboard so I can put all of my little hydraulic lifters in place where they go, so everything comes out and goes back in the same place. And the same thing for our valves. We have 8 intake valves, 8 exhaust valves. Those all should go back in where they came out from. They'll go ahead and do a little bit of lapping. I'll just show you one and then we'll get the rest of them done, because you don't need to see me do all 2, 4, 6, 8, 16 of these things. So let me get some stuff together and then we will take off one of these valves and go from there. Alrighty, well, I've got one of the valves from cylinder 3 out, and I am going to go ahead and just put a little bit of the Permatex valve compound. You can either throw it on the valve itself, which I forgot over there, or throw it on the seat of the valve in the head. The important thing is, this is an abrasive compound, so you don't want to let it get in the cylinder, or sorry, in the intake area itself, especially on the valve seal or on the stem of the valve. Again, because that just be abrasive back and forth. Not a good thing. So get my valve. There we go. I'm just going to put a little bit, so I almost tip over, a little bit on my finger and run it around the edge of the valve. You don't need much, just a little dab will do you. And then you can set it in the head, take our little tool and run it back and forth. Little suction cup thing, maybe. Well, it doesn't work too well, it just sort of spins the thingamabobber. There we go. Well, that's kind of worthless on that side. Let's try the other thing. There we go. And if you want to thin it out, you can throw a few drops of water on it. I know Jared Pink from the Questionable Garage just did a pretty good video showing how to do this. Probably better technique than me. He actually put the end of this in his cordless drill and ran it around. So that's an option for you too. They also do have machines that'll do this as well. And there we go. That's the first one. So I'm going to put this back together, clean off my spring. The folks who remanned it did kind of douse the whole thing in assembly lube for shipping and storage. And well, I probably don't need to do this. It's just that extra step in assurance that, hey, I've gone over this thing again to make sure, you know, my expert knowledge and experience can take care of this thing. So I'm going to go through to do the other 15 valves, and we'll come back when this is all put back together, ready to start assembling the parts back on from the old head. Okay, we went and got our valves, well, not all of them ground. One we took off, looked a little suspect. The other ones, I started just kind of spot checking, and our contact point on the valve seats was pretty good. So I'm just going to send it because I really was not enjoying taking all of those things apart. Anyways, we're going to do one big thing left this evening before I call it a night, and that's going to be getting this top cam girdle or cam cover on. We've got to get our 2 cams set in place for that first and get this area cleaned and get some assembly lube in place. So I've got these to take back out quickly. I'm going to clean these areas here with our brake clean for better or worse, just so we have a good surface to adhere to with our Permatex. Clean these journals out. Like I said, these did come with some lube on them, because who knows how long they would sit before they would be put in. But since I've already sprayed some brake clean in here anyways with the cleanup process, why not just get everything cleaned up? No, I don't need a chunk of blue towel in there, thank you. So we've got good surfaces for adhering our Permatex too. Now, make sure I don't have any more chunks of blue towel stuck in here. Make sure all of our lifters are where they should be, sitting on the springs. So what I'm going to do is throw some assembly lube in all these journals here. Then we're going to put our cams in place, wipe them down, and then put the cam girdle on top. But before I do that, I need to take clink and put some of our Permatex around these paths here. I've cleaned out the old sealant. We don't need to put anything here, but we do need to put them around the spark plug holes. And make sure when you're doing this, there's a few places where there are journals for paths for lubrication, like right here. Do not put sealant in there. You'll have a bad day. So I'm going to get this prepped and get the cam set in place and set this down. Looks pretty good. Be a little liberal with the lube. You do not want to start this dry. And if you remember the original head, a lot of these journals were just chunked up from, I don't know if it was lack of oil, sludge buildup, don't know. So here is our intake cam over here. Go ahead and wipe that down real quick. Again, this was already, need a new towel. This was already lubed when it showed up, but I'll take one last pass in case you get any dust or any other crud on it. I'm going to set things in here where they should go. We still have to time this thing officially. And of course we'll have some pressure on some of these lobes from the springs, but the goal is these should sit about here when we start assembling things. But for now, everything can just sit just like this. Let's grab our other cam. You know, I forgot one thing I should do that I thought about 45 seconds ago. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of lube right on top of these rollers. Again, trying to avoid starting anything dry if we can prevent it. All right. Set you in place. Let's grab these rollers. On the end of here we have an oil seal. I did not get one of those in our pile of parts, so I'm just going to rob the one off the old cam. Is it the right thing to do? Maybe not. But it's what I've got, and that's what I'm going to do. Go ahead and throw some lube in here just because. Back to previous statement, lube is your friend. Set you on. Oops, we need our keyway, that's for sure. There we go. We need our key for our sprocket. And there is somewhere another cap for right here. There it is. Go ahead and set you back in place. Just like that. Now, like I said, we have our cap, girdle, cover, guide, whatever you want to call it. Got our Permatex I'm going to lay in here. And then these two little holes here, and then around the spark plugs. You don't need a lot, just enough to go over these channels. You don't need to build a big hump. Like I said, just enough to cover them. Let me find that Permatex. Alrighty, I'm going to try to not to make a mess. Probably not going to happen, but yeah, it's not working well so far. We'll see how that goes. I still don't have a lot of hope for this tip. Nope. So we're going to try and be very careful with our goo. All right. All right, I'm going to kind of finger smooth some of this stuff out. All right, I've got all my spots. So now I should probably double check what the torque specs are on these bolts. I'm going to set this on top here where it goes. Actually, before I do that, I should throw a little bit of assembly lube on the top of these cams. I just made a little mess right here. All right, set this on here. Then I'm going to go check those torque specs. Well, the internet's pretty useless. It says between 8 and 10 Newton meters, and it also says various places these are torque to yield and replace them. Other people say send it. I've done it multiple times. So, depending on who you choose to believe, seeing as I have wet sealant, I'm going to torque these down and consider replacing them. Mind you, my solution may not be the best, but I've got everything here and I'm ready to go. Worst case scenario, I take this cap back off, clean off the sealant, and do it over. But we've got our, what, T27, I think this is. Where's my wrench? There it is. Socket. There we go. Run these down. Seeing as this is a reman and they didn't mention these were new, which they're not, or did not mention replacing them, I question a little bit. And you know what? If I don't change them, get it all back together and it works, then I can consider swapping them or not. Head studs, yeah, those are torque to yield and become a giant mess with coolant in places there shouldn't be coolant if those let go. And the fun thing with this is that you'll have some of these lifters now be under pressure as you're putting everything back together. And I may, as a starting point, just drop my camshaft alignment tool just to help us start off on the right foot. Let me grab that. And we'll see how this goes. I did not go out and buy the $185 Audi one. I bought the well-reviewed kit from Amazon that includes all the goodies for proper timing. So we'll just have to see how this goes. You could get this kit for, I don't know, $35, $40, I think it was. But it comes with a handful of tools for various stuff. Not sure what this does, but it's got the pins to keep things like your tensioners in place. Comes with the larger sockets for the head bolts. $10 mil, $10 mil. But I'm going to run these down. Let me find my torque wrench. Let's convert 10 Newton meters to foot-pounds. All right, shows 7.376 plus 90 degrees once we hear our magical click. Take your extensions off because this can also affect the torque rating if that extension twists. And I'm going to start in the middle, kind of work out in an X pattern. All right, now let's hit our plus 90 degrees. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna let this sit overnight before I do anything else with it. But tomorrow we'll come back. We gotta work on getting our front pulley on, sprocket, whatever you wanna call it. And the important thing is our timing on the rear end with our new tensioner and our new chain and our new cam bolt back here. So for right now, we're gonna let this set up and come back. Okay, I'm gonna put a pin in this one right now, quit while I'm ahead, and there's still plenty more to do, but this video is gonna end up getting quite long, and I don't think anybody wants to sit through a 45-minute video. We're probably already close to there. So, till the next video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to catch the next episode of this coming out, and hopefully it's gonna run for us. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.